Happy Monday, Heat fans. Welcome to the Heat Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Nick Roloff. On today's show, we have a report out there that the Heat are showing interest in Landry Shamet. A little bit of an intriguing situation there. And then also, Heat GM Andy Elisburg hopped on SiriusXM and dropped some interesting nuggets surrounding Terry Rozier and Jimmy Butler that we have to talk about. And I first, though, wanted to let you know we're very close to 13,000 subscribers, about 214 away. And make sure you are subscribed because we put out daily content here at the Heat Report. We're also going to be live for tonight's Summer League game. Yes, you heard that correctly. Heat vs. Thunder, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Central Time. We're going to watch Kalel Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and the rest of the Heat Summer League team ball out. They already won their first game on Saturday against the Celtics. We were live for that. So make sure you hit that sub button because we have daily content, and I don't see any other channels going live for Heat Summer League. So make sure you come join us here at the channel. Let's talk about Landry Shamet, though, because Hoops Hype and Michael Scotto reported that the Heat have shown interest in the free agent guard. Here's exactly what Scotto had to say, saying that free agent guard Landry Shamet has received exploratory interest from the Milwaukee Bucks, Miami Heat, Minnesota Timberwolves, and New York Knicks, league sources told Hoops Hype. And this should not really be that surprising to people out there because Landry Shamet has been connected to Miami in the past. If you just go back 1 year ago, almost to the day, the Heat and Greg Sylvander of 5 Reasons Sports Network reported that the Heat were exploring the idea of trading for Landry Shamet after he was dealt from Phoenix to Washington in the Bradley Beal deal. This is someone that they have coveted for a while. They like his high IQ, his ability to shoot the basketball. But I'll say this when it comes to Landry Shamet. He is not like an elite three-point shooter like a Duncan Robinson, or hell, he's not even as good as a three-point shooter as Alec Burks is, who the Heat signed on a vet-min deal. So although Landry Shamet has had interest from Miami in the past and allegedly has interest now, I don't think it's something Miami will go after. And personally, I'm out on Landry Shamet. After you signed Alec Burks, you don't need another shooting first guard on this roster. You already have Duncan Robinson. You have Alec Burks now. Why would Miami look to acquire another team or player that only gives them three-point shooting? Now, if you made a big-time trade or something like that you dealt 3 players away to get one guy and you need to fill out a couple roster spots on the back end, sure, Landry Shamet intrigues me if you part ways with a Duncan Robinson or something like that, but at least as the current roster is constructed, there's no way I'm going after Landry Shamet. And there's no way that the Miami Heat would do that either. When you think about what this roster has already on the table, there is no chance they add anyone, let alone Landry Shamet. What do I mean by that? The Heat currently have 14 standard contracts, and they were right up against that second apron. They could technically add a 15th player on a standard deal because you are allowed to do that. But if Miami did that, whether it be a UDFA that they signed, whether it be a vet min, no matter what Miami does, if they add a 15th person to this roster on a standard deal, they cross the second apron of the luxury tax. And I don't care who is out there, even frickin' Tyus Jones. I doubt that Miami would cross that second apron of the luxury tax to add another player to this roster. So Landry Shamet, anyone else, not happening. The only way this team changes anything to their current roster is if they make a trade and are able to stay under the second apron or get under the first apron. But be honest with me. Will the Heat make another move before training camp? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I hope they do. I hope they go out there and make a trade. We'll see if they do anything. Now I want to react to Andy Elisburg and what the Heat GM, and even though he's got the title of GM, it really is just the co-GM, if you will, to Pat Riley. But he went on SiriusXM and dropped some couple nuggets that we have to talk about. The first one being on Jimmy Butler. Andy said that Pat Riley has indicated in his postseason press conference that there are things he wants to see from Jimmy, and there are challenges he wants met. Jimmy's not one who is familiar with being challenged. Gotta be honest, I don't really love those words from Andy Elisburg. We all know that Pat Riley challenged Jimmy Butler in that press conference, saying that he needs to be more available during the regular season and not be injured as much, but also when he is playing, needs to be more engaged and give better effort in those regular season games. And I'm fine with Pat Riley challenging him, but I also would have liked to see him challenging him with an extension. But because when you challenge him, but don't give him the confidence long term and give him a deal that says, yeah, we want you to retire a Miami Heat basketball player, it kind of gives me the signal that this could be the last dance for Jimmy Butler. There is no guarantee that Butler will be returning next season. He's got a player option. He could opt out and seek a 2-year Supermax extension, which he currently wants from the Miami Heat as we are speaking right now. If the Heat continue to give him the idea they're not going to give him that 2-year Supermax, what's stopping Jimmy Butler from really just saying, all right, I'm playing this year out, I'm going to give you my all, and then I'm leaving in free agency next year, and you can't do a damn thing about it? I don't really like how this Jimmy Butler situation is progressing. Sure, you might get a better Jimmy in 23 or 24, 25, but long term, this could be Butler's last dance. He also dropped a nugget on Terry Rozier that I wanted to show and really share my opinion on. He said that our free agent move this year was the Terry Rozier move. What? We just decided to do it early. Probably took us out of being able to do something with the mid-level with sign-in trades because of the Apron rules that prevent that. This is the worst line of thinking that you could possibly have. I tweeted about it as soon as I saw this quote, that I despise this line of thinking, and this is the type of thought process that has set the Miami Heat back over the last 5 years, rather than going out there and getting a third guy to add to Jimmy and Bam. It's always this type of thing. We make a move. Oh, we had an injury. We'd like to see this team fully healthy before we try to make another upgrade. No! Just come out and realize that the Knicks, Celtics, Sixers, they all got better, and this current roster is likely not able to win the Eastern Conference, therefore can't win the NBA championship. I like Terry Rozier. I'm excited for year 2. But you really think just running it back is going to make this team improve and just them being healthy? What has given you the idea that this team can even stay healthy in the first place? Jimmy hasn't done it. Tyler hasn't done it. And now you've seen Terry get hurt. This is a terrible line of thinking, and I have more thoughts on the matter. But make sure you get this Miami Heat hat before they run out, because they're on sale for $8 off right now for a limited time. Yes, you heard that. They're $25 right now, usually $34. Get yours today. Chatsports.com/Heat hat. That link is in the description and comments of today's video. Make sure you get yours before they run out. And the idea of me thinking that I don't like the way Andy Elisburg said that Rozier's our offseason edition, we just did it a little bit earlier, it's not me discrediting Terry Rozier, because he was actually really good for Miami in the 31 games he played. Yes, he got off to that horrific start where in the first 15 games with Miami, he was shooting under 27% from 3, under 35% from the field, and only averaging about 14 or 15 points. Well, he was able to correct that, and over the last and final 16 games he played with Miami before his neck injury, he bumped his percentages all the way up to 42% from the field and 37% from 3, which means he was shooting about 48% and 42% from 3, respectively, in those final 16 games. So the improvements were there, and once he got comfortable with Jimmy and Bam and the rest of the company, it looked like he was a good fit. And I am excited to see Terry Rozier's second season with this team and have a full offseason. But that still does not mean that I don't want to see this roster change. And it's not me saying that the Heat need to trade Terry Rozier. It could be a Duncan Robinson trade. It can be a Tyler Hero trade. But can you find a way to mix some of the pieces you have had over the past couple seasons and bring in new blood? Because regardless if you like the players or not, one thing is abundantly clear. This is year 6 of Jimmy, Bam, Duncan, Tyler. Those 4 guys have been on this Heat team for the last 6 seasons. You don't think that they're worn out from each other? It is this natural human behavior to get tired and run its course. One of them needs to go, preferably Tyler or Duncan, to try to find a different upgrade in a new splash of blood. But I will say this before we move on from Terry Rozier. A lot of people might be asking, well, what is the update on Rozier with his neck injury that kept him out for the final month and a half of the season, including the entire playoffs? Rozier is out of the neck brace, and he is back to basketball activities. So it looks like Terry is back to getting in his rehab training and will be ready to go in October, unless he suffers a different injury, and he'll be ready to go for training camp. And even though I kind of had a bad feeling on the situation, I do want Terry Rozier to be good next season, and I am excited to see him. And if you're with me, show Terry Rozier some love. Also wish him a speedy recovery as he is continuing to get his rehab back. Spam those twos down in the comments section. Before we get out of here, I do want to talk some Nikola Jovic because I know a lot of Heat fans were concerned about Jovic, and the reports out there over the weekend is that he has a fractured ankle because Team Serbia did announce that Jovic will miss the Olympics. And that is a bummer because I wanted to see Nikola Jovic play alongside Nikola Jokic, see how those two were to work hand in hand because I think Jovic would have learned for the better and become even a better basketball player as a whole. But I do want to clear up the fractured ankle talk because that is not the case. The Heat have reported it as a sprain. And that is what I heard from 5 Reasons Sports Network as well. And to me, if it was a fractured ankle, I wouldn't have seen a clip from him this weekend running, jumping, and participating in some basketball activities. Not full contact, but just simple running around, shooting, dunking the basketball. He's out of the walking boot. If he had a fractured ankle, he would not be doing that at this time. So I don't think the injury is that serious whatsoever. It just should be a sprain. The Heat expect him to be ready for training camp in October, and I would expect that to be the case as well. All right, that will do it for today's show. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Like I said, daily content on news, rumors, everything you need surrounding the Miami Heat. And we're going to be live later today about 4:45 Central Time, 5:45 Eastern Time, 15 minutes before the Heat take on the Thunder in their Summer League game. Come hang out with your boy as we watch Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kalel Ware, and the rest of the Heat Summer League team. So hopefully I see you there.